Let's go ahead and talk to Sayid, I believe, in New Jersey. Thanks for holding, Sayid. You're on the air.
Hey, how you doing, Alex?
Good.
Basically, I just was calling. I'm a little behind on your podcast, but I just was calling to commend you on your show last Thursday because I'm used to listening to guys that don't really have a good understanding of history. So you pretty much broke it down, and I just want to add my 2 cents. And basically, I just wanted to cover about the Wahhabis. And
yes, go ahead. That's the go ahead.
Basically, I just was going to cover that the Wahhabis are actually a splinter cell from the traditional Sunni element. And
oh, sure. I mean, I'm sorry if I didn't make it clear. I was just giving Americans kind of the basic. Yeah, that's a subgroup out of Saudi Arabia.
Right, and basically, this group, there's one document that a lot of people don't realize was published, and it was published by a guy, I believe his last name was Hempfer. You can Google that. And it was actually his document, and he was a spy around the late 1600s, early 1700s, who had gone into Saudi Arabia, learned Farsi, Turkish, Arabic, and he was looking for someone to basically uprise. And he had found this guy by the name of Abdul Wahhab.
Well, stop there because I am aware of this. This is mainline British history. And for those that don't know, this is how empires would come in and colonize if they would set up a group to uprise if they wanted to overthrow a government or work with a government to suppress if they would. And yes, going back to this tribe, I simplified it with Lawrence of Arabia, the real alliance being made, Saudi Arabia having its lines drawn with Lawrence of Arabia. But yes, the House of Saud works for the New World Order. But go ahead.
Right, and so this guy basically, he uprose. They found, an element that was against the Turks. And, so this started basically what I'm trying to explain to people around the 1700s. And, in there, before this, there really wasn't, a lot of the media I'm watching claim, Sunnis kill Shias or Shias kill Sunnis. And even what's going on right now in Iraq, the Shias realize that this isn't the Sunni element that's doing this. This is the Wahhabi element that's doing this. And basically what McCain was saying during the election when he was talking about this troop surge and, the great success that's happened, basically it had nothing to do with the troop surge. It had to do with the Sunni groups trying to oust the Wahhabis. So
no, absolutely. I mean, that's really on record, even in mainline news. It's just buried, yes.
Right, and now basically what I'm trying to explain is the same thing is going on right now in Pakistan, where now you're hearing about these tribal militias are coming together and, uprising against, this Wahhabi element of the Taliban. And if you wanted to look this up, there's actually 2 really good books. One is by Stephen Schwartz. It's called The Two Faces of Islam, and it discusses the traditional Sunnis and the Wahhabi split. And the document I'm talking about, the actual diary of, I believe his first name is Brian Hempfer, it's called Confessions of a British Spy. And I think you can probably find that on PDF file if you look that up. And
yeah, I believe it's later than the 1600s. It's the 1700s, I believe. But, yeah, no, I've read it.
Right. And
this is taught in mainline history of the Middle East courses. And
right.
I've separately years ago bought a bunch of on DVD, and before that on audio cassette, history of the Middle East, and I bought some on history of Islam, history of Greece, just basic stuff. And that's all really pretty much admitted. And see, anytime you try to get a government that tries to build up, I'm not defending Saddam Hussein, but the point is they used him to get in power. Then he actually tried to build Iraq up, so they took him down. I'm not saying he was a good guy. The issue is the Serbs aren't good guys either, the Serb leadership, but they're not under New World Order control, so they're taken down. And so that's what they do. They play one country off against the next. And as soon as they were done with Iraq, attacking Iran, they took down Iraq. And it just goes on. It's so dastardly. And now they've got these 5,000 Iraqis here that they're going to blame on probably Shiites because they never blame it on the precious, Saudi Arabian Wahhabist. And then, or they may try to blame it on the Sunnis. You're absolutely right. It's all about setups. How many Arabs or Muslims understand this?
Well, it's kind of crazy because the mainstream media feeds off the ignorance. So they try to find these disgruntled Wahhabis and they throw them on the news or whatever. And basically, the majority of the people that worship at the mosque, they believe in the same liberties that Christians and Jews believe in. They don't want their rights taken away. They don't want other people's rights taken away. The Quran makes it very clear that, you know, you can't spill the blood of innocent people, men, women, children,
No,
elderly.
absolutely. The globalists promote the radical Islam, just like they promote everything else that'll destabilize.
The New World Order beast is genetically modifying your food, mixing vegetables with animals, and now experimenting with viruses. Without a long-term food solution, you will have just two options: starve, or surrender. All canned food supplies will eventually run out. What then? Grow your own healthy food and feed your family forever. SurvivalistSeeds.com is now the nation's largest bulk heirloom seed company, and it's owned by a real patriot, Big John Lipscomb. You can now have an infinite amount of healthy vegetables like a watermelon, a bundle of carrots, or tomatoes for a little more than a penny each. SurvivalistSeeds.com. And now you can go into business with Big John at SurvivalistSeeds.com by becoming an affiliate. See his link at SurvivalistSeeds.com.